let's talk about the Central Division. Central Division, let's go ahead and look at their record from last year. Indiana was number one seed in the East. They had 56 wins and 26 losses. Chicago was 48 and 34. You got Cleveland, who was 33 and 49. Detroit was 29 and 53. Milwaukee was 15 and 67. This division here, this probably going to be the best basketball play. I want to say the best teams, of course, going to be in this division here. As you know, we already know about the movement, but I'm going to go ahead and discuss Indiana first. So let's take a look at the Indiana Pacers here. The Indiana Pacers, as you know, Paul George, when we was having the scrimmage before they was going to actually take off and play FIBA World Cup basketball, took a nasty spill when he was going for a block and broke his leg, and it was a nasty break. But, I mean, now it seems like the guy is actually handling pretty well. He's been out shooting jumpers without a cast, as Kevin mentioned on his corner of the show. So, I'm surprised that Kevin think that he actually will play this year. Kevin believed the guy can play probably within a few months. But, you know, because you got to think about it. He's got to get back in conditioning, shape, and everything like that. So, but let's talk about their team as of right now without Paul George. So you got George Hill, Rodney Stuckey came over from Detroit, C.J. Miles, David West, Roy Hibbert is the starting five. Their bench is Louis Scola, C.J. Watson, Ian Mahinmi, and Chris Copeland. As far as George Hill, we already know how critical they are of him. Is that when there's a lot of turnovers with this team here, and he seemed to be, unfortunately, the catalyst of the turnovers. This team plays a little bit sloppy, and so George Hill actually can shoot the ball. He's great scoring. He need to focus on that. Maybe this is where they got Rodney Stuckey coming over here, where he can actually help George Hill with another ball handling. But Rodney Stuckey is going to be running two guard, and as you see, they're playing small because, as you know, Paul George, as I mentioned, is out earlier. C.J. Miles is another guy who is a three-point threat developing, and his percentage keep going up year by year since 2011, 2012. David West, his consistency, he's going to give it to you. You already know what he's going to give to you. The Pacers were 42 and 20 when he scored 10. This guy's going to do a little bit more now because PG's not there. So David West is going to be more relied on. So you're definitely going to see him going to the post. Roy Hibbert. Roy Hibbert is the guy that is frustrating a lot of Indiana fans. Some nights you can see the brilliance in this guy where he can lock down the paint, defend, and does it all. There's some nights that he just shows up and you just scratching your head like, what the heck are you doing, son? There's especially in the plays I know I've felt for Indiana fans. They really went through with this guy. But apparently, in the offseason, he went ahead and actually was talking to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Olajuwon, Bill Walton, Tim Duncan, and they're trying to, you got to be a sponge when you listen to these legends here. And yes, Tim Duncan will be a legend, he is still playing. You got to listen to these guys and take the information in because these are guys that's been there, done that, and these are guys that you definitely want to listen to when they give you advice. Roy Hibbert is one of those guys that really need to step it up too now with Paul George going down and carry the load. And if he does make an appearance this season, then fantastic. That'd be great for you. Indiana, like I told y'all, their key additions, Rodney Stuckey and C.J. Miles. They did lose Lance Stevenson and Evan Turner. Consequently, these two guys got in a fight, and they're not on the team anymore. As Kevin mentioned, Lance Stevenson, as good as he was, as good as he was at handling the ball, he did it all as far as passing, shooting the ball. He was definitely a point forward, but it's just the attitude sometimes and the edging that he had just got on a lot of people's nerves. So he's not there any longer. But it makes you think now, if you got a crystal ball and Paul George is going to go down with a season-ending injury in the summer, you probably would have went ahead and paid Lance Stevenson the money that he required. So, but that's what you do. You don't know things that are going to happen. We don't have a crystal ball, and we must just keep it going, keep it moving forward. So the Indiana Pacers team is still a threat with Paul George. I would have loved to see the competition with Paul George there because of this whole division here is going to be crazy. But now it's a little bit more predictable now with Paul George going down. So we'll go ahead and keep that moving. Next on here the list of Chicago, they was 48-34. This is a team that did once again, just without their roles, the things that they're able to do, and their coaches deserves a round of applause, man. Their coach is a heck of a coach. Their team has got so much grit. And so now you're really banking on the fact that Derrick Rose come back healthy. He does play a little bit more careful than he has been. But Chicago, they added Paul Gasol, Aaron Brooks, Ejuan Moore. DJ Augustine is not on the team anymore. As far as this team rotation and lineup, you're looking at Derrick Rose, who's going to start. Of course, the Team USA is going to get him a little stint, get him a little breath, like trying to get back in the rhythm of things. And that helps that Tom Thibodeau was there coaching as well. Jimmy Butler, he's going to be at the 2 guard. You got Mike Dunleavy, Paul Gasol, who came over, like I said earlier, Joakim Noah. The reserves is going to be Taj Gibson, Kirk Heinrich, Doug McDermott, the rookie that come over from Crichton, drafted from Crichton, Nikola Mirotic, Aaron Brooks is pretty much their reserve that you're going to have on their bench. As far as this team here, they're really deep. Of course, now you put Paul Gasol and Joakim Noah. These 2 guys with the ball, passing it, they're so great passing the ball for their size. So this team is going to be so unselfish. Derrick Rose, if he stay healthy, all he got to do is worry about just getting them the ball, scoring, being a threat. Use that triple threat where he can be able to score, pass the ball, go off the dribble. We all know what Derrick Rose is able to do, but it's this main thing about him staying healthy, and we all cross our fingers staying healthy because Derrick Rose is a great player and a fun player to watch. But this team on the other side of the ball, defense, this is the team that does play defense very, very well. That is what Thibodeau preaches. He wants you to play defense. And so now with this team here that's so deep, they get to challenge the other team that we're going to talk about here in this division pretty soon. So it's going to be interesting to see how Chicago does. And as you hear Kevin on his corner, who he picked, we'll see what they can do, man. Chicago is going to be a fun team to watch. This is a team that you definitely, if you are out of the not in the Chicago area, you want to go ahead and get a league pass, and you want to go ahead and subscribe to watch their games because, boy, if Derrick Rose stay healthy, and Paul Gasol and Joakim Noah just started meshing, and you got this bench with Aaron Brooks and Doug McDermott, who is that boy is impressive. He had a great summer league, so he's going to show you that he's going to contribute right away. This team going to be quite interesting, so you might want to keep an eye out for him. All right, talk about the Cavaliers. Hey, somebody went back to the Cavaliers. I wonder who went back to the Cavaliers. Can you tell me, Lil John, who went back to the Cavaliers? I'm trying to figure out who went back to the Cavaliers. What? I'm trying to figure out who went back to the Cavaliers. What? Okay, I'm done. All right, who went back to the Cavaliers? No other than who? He went back home. If you play the song "I'm Coming Home," LeBron went home. So therefore, LeBron James, after playing 4 years with Miami Heat, he is back in a Cavaliers uniform. This team was all over the place over the summer. They added LeBron James, Kevin Love, Mike Miller, Sean Marion, James Jones. James Jones came from Miami Heat. Sean Marion came from Dallas. Mike Miller came from Memphis. Kevin Love, of course, came from Minnesota. You got Spencer Hawes, Lou Alding, Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Bennett went out. Andrew Wiggins and Anthony Bennett was the draft picks for the Cavaliers. Andrew was this year's number 1 draft pick. Anthony Bennett was last year's number 1 draft pick. So this team is going to be quite interesting to see what you do here. This team has definitely changed over a lot. So now you wonder, now this team went from Kyrie's team to now Kyrie's got sidekicks. Well, LeBron said he's a sidekick, but come on, we know the best player in the world is not going to be a sidekick. But you got Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love. This team on the offensive side of the ball, it's going to be a fun team to watch. So as I'm giving you their starting lineup, pretty much is going to go like this. Kyrie Irving at the point guard, Deion Waiters at the 2, LeBron James at the 3, Kevin Love at the 4, Aaron Zambear-Giles at the 5. Matthew Dellavedova is going to be coming off the bench with Mike Miller, Tristan Thompson, Sean Marion, Brendan Haywood. This team is going to be pretty deep, man, but you got to wonder with this team, can the defensive side of the ball be they have to preach that. They can score the points in the world. This team is going to be fun to watch on offense, but once they go cold, what can you do? Because you got some jump shooters on this team. You got Kyrie Irving, and also the health as well. But LeBron's saying he's not trying to have this to be a big three again. He's saying this is a big 15. You can tell the kid learn a little bit about something because he's trying to learn some humility and not trying to have all the spotlight on him. I guess it was just good for him. But you got a new head coach in here, David Blatt. He was the one who pretty much came over from Europe, and now he's going to instill this offense, and everybody is raving about his offense as well. So we'll see. This is the team here. Well, now you got a big three, and Kevin Love has always been complaining about touches, so hopefully there's not going to be any friction. There's going to be some bumps up this road here. So Cleveland's going to be definitely a fun team to watch if they all can stay healthy. LeBron already been on the quote saying, I take full responsibility of being the leader of the team. Of course, he's saying the right things. But, he's been through some, up and down drama when he was in Miami. Even when he started his career back initially in Cleveland, he has been through some up and downs here. So we got to see here. This is going to be an interesting team to watch. It's going to be fun. It's going to see how they're going to develop because as the Heat did, they had to make an adjustment how to play with one another. Chris Bosh had to sometimes take a step back. So Kevin Love and Kyrie sometimes realize they have to take a step back. On LeBron has been through a situation before, so maybe he can ease these guys and actually preach to them, hey, this is how we're going to actually incorporate this. We'll go with that. So this team, we have to see with them. This is something that you have to I guess LeBron is trying to make sure these guys don't say too, because Waiters already saying when you have the best player in the world on your team, every little thing that is going to be said is going to be magnified. For example, Dion Waiters said they were the best backcourt, claiming him and Iron are the best backcourt. Like, I don't know why you want to put that much pressure on yourself. Don't do that. Play through the season. It's a long haul. Team's going to be coming for you because you got the best player in the world on your team. Y'all not going to be ready for some of these teams. Y'all going to get y'all team's best effort every night because y'all got the best player in the world. Be prepared for it. Cleveland, they got LeBron back after the 4 years. It's just, like I say, I know I got some buddies that I do the podcast with that are Heat fans, but I guess it's a cool feeling seeing a guy who went home, who's from there, is going back home and see how he does it. So, but it'll be interesting. All right, next team we're going to talk about is the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons, man, I have to actually kind of keep an eye for them now because they got my boy Stan Van Gundy coaching them. Stan Van Gundy was out of coaching him for a few years. As you know, Stan Van Gundy coached the Orlando Magic. And so I'm happy for him to get a start. It seemed like he was waiting for the right opportunity. And this is a great opportunity for him. He has a great big guy in Andre Drummond. But let me go ahead and go into their lineup for you before I actually break that down. So you got Andre Drummond playing at the center position. You got Greg Marone playing at the 4. Josh Smith was playing at the 3. He was at the 4. And they're moving him to the 3. Jody Meeks is at the 2. Brandon Jennings is at the 1. Detroit Pistons actually, their key additions actually is Jody Meeks, Caron Butler, DJ Augustine, Aaron Gray. They lost Rodney Stuckey, is the only guy they really lost. Their rotation seems to be Kyle Singler, Jonas Jerebko, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who definitely had a great summer league. Guy can really score. Keep an eye for him, and there's no reason why to figure out someday that where Jody Meeks is starting right now, this to be Kentavious Caldwell-Pope position in the future. So this is a guy you want to keep an eye on, and he probably could, if he does come off the bench, don't be surprised if he be assist-man candidate of the year. I'm just throwing that out there. Kyle Singler is someone who can hit the three-point shot. Stan Van Gundy has always been someone who wants to initiate the inside-out game. Speaking from experience, watching him many, many years over in Orlando, did what he did with Dwight, and he definitely want to hound the ball. So this is something that he can work with Drummond because in Howard was a wonderful rebounder. So is Drummond. Drummond averaged 13.5 points per game, 13.2 rebounds per game, double-double machine. The boy averaged a double-double. So you got a threat with him. Greg Monroe also was near a double-double as well. But there's been some issues as far as his contract. He wanted to get extended. They